Hi there, it's Alyssa from Domestic Heights. So today I'm going to show you how to do a spiral Betty image project. And to demonstrate this, I'm going to use a photo of a really cute dog. And so here I'm on the Spiral Betty tool. It's just it's free for personal use. It's just at spiralbetty.com. So you just pull up that site, and then you drag and drop your image. So it takes any sort of JPEG image. Um, so most bitmap image formats can be recreated in a JPEG if it's not already in a JPEG. So, anyways, you drag and drop this your image, and the first thing you have the option to do is resize it. And so here you just you can zoom in uh, as you see fit, or just leave it and sort of recenter a little bit if necessary. So click on the check, and as soon as you do that, it defaults to the last setting that you used, or the middle setting for each of these tabs if you haven't used it before. And so here, what you want to do is make some minor adjustments so that it sort of optimizes your photo or your image. So there's four options here. There's rings, scale, lightness, and contrast. And what rings is it creates more spiral in this design, and more with more rings. So, for example, if you turn this up and there's more spirals, you can see more details in the photo. So if you turn up to the max, it looks pretty close to the original photo. Another problem with so many rings is if you're cutting this on vinyl, which is the most suitable material for this kind of project, um, it's hard. It's a more intricate cut, and so these lines get really thin, and it's really hard to weed and do this project successfully. So you want to sort of balance things where try to use the minimum amount of rings as possible, but still have enough clarity in the resolution of your photo. Scale is just if you need to sort of zoom in or zoom out, make adjustments to that again. And then lightness and contrast varies the thickness of the white part and the sort of darker line thickness relative to each other. So you can play with that a little bit to see which adds more clarity to your specific image, and it differs for every single photo. In terms on the right hand panel here, you can pick what background color you want. For vinyl and Cricut, other cutting craft projects, I recommend using the black and white because Cricut Design Space still needs to vectorize this image. When it's downloaded, it's still a bitmap image, and it needs to be vectorized with Cricut Design Space. And the black and white has the most contrast, so it'll be easiest to vectorize within Cricut Design Space. Okay, so I'm just gonna I think that looks good. So that looks good. We're gonna just download this. For personal use, this is free. You can always buy her a copy, which I highly recommend. I think this is a really cool tool. So you just click on download, and then just keep track of where your download files go. So then we're going to pull up Cricut Design Space. We have the canvas view here, and then we're going to use the upload tool on the left panel here, and we're going to upload an image. Okay, so we've uploaded the image that we just got downloaded from Spiral Betty, and you want to mark this image as complex because it is pretty complicated and intricate in details. So here, if you've ever used the upload image tool, what Cricut is doing here is it's vectorizing the bitmap image, and you need to help it out. And the way you help it out is by marking the background. So to mark the background, we click on the Select and Erase tool in the upper left-hand corner and click anywhere on the background. And because this is one big spiral piece, by clicking anywhere in the background, it's already connected to all the background space within the spiral. And so with that one click, you've taken off all the background, even the ones within the spiral image. Okay, so we want to continue and then select cut image because we want the vector version of the file that we just created. And then select it to upload. And then at this point, all you need to do is just resize it to the material that you want to make it with. As I mentioned before, I highly recommend making it bigger than 8 inches because these spiral lines can get kind of thin, and it's really hard to weed if it's any smaller than 8 inches in diameter. That's it. Okay, so now we're going to actually cut it on some permanent vinyl. So for this project, I highly recommend using sheet vinyl as opposed to rolled vinyl. The rolled vinyl I find tends to have more air bubbles, and this is kind of an intricate cut, so you want to minimize the air bubbles. The blade doesn't snag on the vinyl. Okay, so now we're gonna actually do the most fun part of this project, which is weeding the final product. This permanent vinyl is always a little harder to get started, but once you get started, it's super easy. Okay, so I'm going to peel it towards where the spiral of the actual image starts. So this weeding vinyl does not get any easier than this. However, you do want to be careful that it doesn't actually pick up the actual image spiral. Because if it does that, then it gets all tangled up and you've got a problem. So you want to just get this started without actually picking. It's proving to be a little harder than I thought it would be. So you want to pick it off. I want that to stay put. Yeah, there we go. So you can see it's kind of a thinner line. So another option is to do reverse weeding, where you peel out the back of this vinyl sheet and put the whole thing on transfer paper. I'm not going to do that today, but that's also another option, especially if you've set your image, if you create an image with really thin spiral lines. Okay, so we're going to do this, and you really want to get this started in the right way and make sure you don't pick up the really thin line, because if it picks up, then it gets all tangled up. So I'm just going to speed up the video a little bit so that you can watch me sort of unveil this photo in a fast forward mode. It's kind of fun to watch.